he'd be feeling some different kind of nerves today, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So when you start making hits, you know, like making quarters, semis, you started dreaming, you know. You want to go up there. And, of course, the pressure comes with it. It's part of the game, you know. And, let's see. Filipe.
Here we go. Filipe Toledo, who's been starting so strong. And he's going to throw everything at that first section. It was a tricky section to read, so priority's going to flip here to S.Pupo. Just a couple of throwaway scores for Filipe now.
Been trying a bunch of boards, you know, different shapers, and which keeps me more motivated, you know, like to, I don't know, to find a good board. Oh, Sammy driving off the bottom. Oh, that looked beautiful off the top. Big carve. He's got a lot of variety with this forehand. He gave us a bit of everything in the third round, and he's going to throw everything at that final section. I think both these surfers are very aware they have to give their very best and risk everything on some of these sections to beat one another today, because they've been putting up such big numbers.
Actually have to do. And let's have a look at the replay here of Sammy. I concur. This first turn, beautiful. Just fully connected and locked in. Big roping cutback. And he just bides his time here, Sammy, waiting for this wave to stand up again. And then he just blasts through the lip, unfortunately.
Yeah, this hit can go either way, you know, and I'm not gonna be impressed if Filipe wins or Sammy, because both are really good in this wave. Oh, Filipe.
Yeah, it's a really tricky start to the ride, but he's going to hang on there. You can see there's some bump for the surfers to negotiate as they make their way through to the inside, but Filipe collecting points on the opening stages of the ride, and it's going to clean up now as this one rolls through Little Marley. And he's building for the finish down the line. And it's tailor-made for the alley-oop. And Filipe's going to stick it. Throws the figure up. And the Grom celebrating with him on the inside there.
I get so motivated when I see so many people, you know, on the beach. I have my family and friends. That motivates me so much. Oh, that's a replay from Filipe.
Yeah, this is that last ride. It was tricky.
In the beginning, it was tricky.
Really hard to surf at the beginning there, and Filipe looked like he was going to come unstuck on that third turn, but managed to get centered back on the board again. Now he starts to fire up, get these beautiful fast wraps down the line. Now he hits the accelerator. Right, here we go. Okay, we know he's squaring up for a huge alley-oop, and as he's done so many times before.
You had a photographer's backpack on and a tripod on your shoulder and a towel over your head, and you escaped the contest site unscathed. That was awesome.
Yeah, it worked. My filmer always does that, you know, because he's my cameraman, and so I try to be like him.
Oh, that's awesome. Here we go, Toledo, just the two sections, but lays it out and gets fully extended. This is going to be his backup score. Just the two opportunities here, but he made the most of them, Gabe.
Yeah, those are really good.
8.17 on his previous ride. And here comes Samuka driving through to the inside. Beautiful big float on a classic Snapper Rocks wall. Locks into the pit. Oh, just gets knocked off there. So the early momentum with Toledo.
Just like he did in my heat.
I don't know if he's going to get the credit for the finish there as we see the replay of Sammy's ride.
Yeah, big air rev to start things off, and now Sammy just gunning down the line. Big projection power float, and unfortunately just gets caught a little bit behind this tide.
His first CT win back in 2015. Julian was also in that final, and that was even better. He had 5 17-plus heats. One of them was 18.5, and in the final, he had 19.6. Filipe Toledo.
Oh, good-looking wave here.
Double up, and he's going to drive into this first section. Leans into his power there. Carving back into the bowl now a couple of times. Really just transitioning through those first two sections to get himself to the steeper wall that awaits on the inside here at Little Marley. This wave starting to line up. And Filipe gets nice and close to the bowl. Really quick out of the lip there, drifting the fins. Maintains fantastic control, whips it into reverse, climbs that whitewater. And still just begging for this wave to stand up again to throw a final hit. We're going to see a replay of it now. Rich, take us through the opening stages here.
Oh, beautiful looking wall, and a couple of nice wraps to start things off. as this wave just pushes off the bank just a little bit here. But nonetheless, you can see how Filipe keeps all that momentum and flow going down the line. Now it doubles up, hits the inside bank. Quick snap down the line and blows the air rev. Gets it done really smoothly. Real finer detail there. As he came down off the air rev, he was already onto the bottom turn, and as he bottom turned, he shifted both his feet back.
Iago getting a world title, and again, the Brazilian force just coming on so strong this season. We're going to get back to that in a moment as we see Sammy looking for his first really big number. He wants to get back on pace with Toledo here, wants to get an excellent score of his own, flowing beautifully. Nice pocket hit there. Bit of foam on the face to deal with, no issues for this on-fire Brazilian grommet, who comes rolling through to the inside. Oh, gets a little hung up there for a moment, and the wave reels off without him.
I love watching him surfing, so I get really excited when I see him on the water. And yeah, to see him winning a title, I knew that was going to come at some point, you know, and I don't know, he was just like not doing mistakes and competing really well, so it was just about time, you know.
Yeah, and it feels like it has inspired the likes of S.Pupo too to, as your seeds improved, all the Brazilians falling really onto this bottom side of the draw. So coming up against each other now, it's been an interesting start to the year, but one I'm sure all the fans back home are loving.
Something's clicked. I think he's really feeding off his brother's success as well, and then all of the other Brazilian Storm members.
Here he goes. He had a 5.67 on his last ride. He needs to really surf this wave up. And with turns like that, he could do it. Rolling down the line now. Get some release there just to transition and stay in front of this one. And drifts the tail again. He's after an 8.6. Not sure it's going to go there, but if he improves on the 5.67, he'll have a shot at it as we head into the final 10 minutes here.
The placement, he got left behind on the final hit, but this one he looked more connected. The timing was a bit better. Flares that first snap off the top. The second hack, that had plenty of power and intent in it. Little check turn down the line as he sets up this section. Again, a tail flare, drift. And then the final hit had some sting to it as well.
Let's have a look at what went down.
Filipe off the bottom, off the top. A beautiful tail hang and snap to start things off. Comes down the line, projection floater. Building for speed, waiting for the section, and a huge carve off the top. Beautiful figure eight, bottom turn, top turn pathway there, and he gets the air rev at the end. Fights the foam for a little bit, and does he get the mate? Yes, he does.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting moment. I think we've got Filipe. I'll throw it back to you guys just for a sec. No, okay, Matty, mate, when you're preparing for a heat.
I feel like Griff, he got one good result at the bells, and, you know, it's being tricky to make through that second round. And, oh, Sammy.
Whoa, here we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sammy throwing everything at that first section. Priority now goes to Toledo, who's on the outside, eyeing off a good one. Wisely steers away from the tube there and starts to get a little tactical, and now is defending this lead. Yeah, they're really good picks, I think, just based on their consistency. Ethan Ewing, Griffin Colapinto, but a few other people have stepped up this year. Sammy's one of them. And as we hit the Breitling 2-minute countdown, Pupo is up at the moment, and this wave has a nice shape to it. It needs to really hammer these sections, and does. Drifts the tail and rides the coping, and somehow is going to almost hang on for the finish there. I mean, he has to push it.
He had to go for it. You could tell in the opening moments of that wave, he was surfing really well. It started to build down the line. It looks like he might be the pick, but here we go. Not over yet. Sammy down the line.
Yeah. Wow. Surfed really well this year, and again on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, Sammy's been on fire. You know, he's been so consistent. And I was going to talk about Filipe. Sometimes losing is a good thing for you, you know, and he's coming back. And it feels like Filipe is in the rhythm. He's about to lock a good result here.
Filipe, congratulations. Yesterday, you and Samuel set this beach on fire with the top scoring heats of the year. And it was always going to be a blinding matchup. a little bit trickier, but how did you maintain, you know, that form, that rhythm, and that energy from yesterday out there today?
Yeah, well said. A bit tricky today. Even though we still have plenty of swell. The bank's pretty good. It's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird, and, you know, like all these ripples on the wave, and you really have to bottom turn and kind of mid-bottom turn decide where you want to hit it, or if it's a big carb or it's you know, just like a big hit. But yeah, you know, Sammy put on a show yesterday as well, and same thing, strategy, you know, go out there and put 2 big scores and kind of control the heat. And yeah, I did well, used my priority well. I got that smaller wave towards the end that I got my 7.6. It was a big risk actually, because he was coming back and I had priority. I could have just let that wave go and sit down with priority and wait, but I was just gonna roll the dice on this one, see if I can get a score, and yeah, it paid off.
Yeah, man, and I love what you say there about sort of zipping and hunting and looking for the line that was going to give you opportunities, because that was the strategy that paid off in the end. I think there was just far less top to bottom opportunities from start to finish on the wave. But in typical form, you couldn't help yourself. You take to the air and it just lights up the beach, and everyone just, you know, loves to see that.
Yeah, if I can, I'm always going to take it to the air. It's always fun. And I mean, you know, in conditions like this today, if I just finished my wave with a little turn, it was probably going to go 6, you know. So I knew I had to push a little bit harder to beat Sammy.
You got a very here comes Sammy now, mate. A very different opponent in your next heat, Conor O'Leary, who has been just blasting the back out of it with some big, powerful top to bottom, you know, attack mode sort of verts. What's your strategy going into that?
Yeah, I think last time that we met was in the semis again, J-Bay, and he smoked me. Maybe it's my turn now. No, just kidding. We'll see how it goes. It's, you know, Conor's such a good friend too. We built our friendship on tour. He's a dad, I'm a dad, and, you know, we share really good experiences. And yeah, everybody loves Conor in Brazil as well, and he's part of the crew. And yeah, it's for sure it's going to be a really good heat, and let's go.
Let's go, mate. These right-hand point breaks, you love them, and they love you right back.
Thank you, appreciate that.